Asia is surrounded by beautiful oceans, exotic temples, and strong dialects. Does any of this ring a bell? Yes. The descriptions also fit very well with Busan. 7 beaches, attractive temples like Haedong Yeonggongsa, and we can't forget the famous dialect Busan 사투리. And that's when I knew Busan was going to be my second home. I grew up so much in Busan that I even mentor other students from Indonesia to help them with their Korean and life in Busan. When I teach them Korean, I sometimes see myself using 사투리. Looking back, I remember struggling to understand what my professors were saying because they were using 찐 Busan 사투리, you know, the real Busan dialect. But I think that's what makes Busan more of my home. Through the dialect, I feel the warm jong that no other city can mimic. Global City Busan. We are in it together. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM 부산 영어방송.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
Major South Korean companies have announced fresh domestic investment plans at a meeting with President Lee Jae-myung over the weekend. And, this comes with a sigh of relief after the government finalized that big trade deal with the U.S. So, for example, major companies like Samsung said it's going to invest 450 trillion won over the next 5 years to expand its domestic operations, including building an additional production line at its Pyeongtaek manufacturing hub to meet the spike in demand for global semiconductors. Also, South Korea's largest automaker, Hyundai Motor, also announcing plans to invest 125 trillion won from next year through 2030 to expand domestic research and development and advance new tech such as AI, robotics, and self-driving cars. So hopefully, this will allay concerns at home and abroad about our companies, South Korean companies, investing here domestically as well. I'm Catherine. This is Morning Wave in Busan on Tuesday, November 18th on BEFM 부산영어방송. Good morning, Wavers. I hope you're all doing well. If you have not opened your windows or stepped outside, I don't have my weather report in front of me, but I can give you a real feel temperature report. It's chilly this morning. So yes, I'll give you the details of that coming up. Well, yesterday, if you remember, I briefly went over this 13-month high in unemployment for people with 4-year college degrees. And experts say that this is the result of a mismatch between the jobs that young people want versus what jobs are available. So this sort of mismatch is particularly prominent in non-capital areas, including right here in Busan. For some, it's been suggested that remote or hybrid work could be a possible solution to this problem. As we've seen, local governments have been trying to bring corporate headquarters to their respective regions as a solution to their stagnant local economies. But if they can't do this, which has been the case in most situations, municipalities are considering having their local talents work from home for these capital area companies. And Busan is seen as one of the best locations to work from home. Busan City actually has a healthy pool of young talent coming out from its schools everywhere. Specifically, Busan is the 3rd highest in the country in the number of graduates from science, technology, or digital-related majors. So at the same time, Busan also experiences the highest rate of these so-called STEM talents leaving the city, which we often call also brain drain. And this is due to a lack of jobs in tech in our city. Japan, which has already experienced population issues like this before Korea, already has been working on its remote work policy for over a decade called telework. This telework rate in Japan reached 23% during the pandemic. And, obviously the pandemic is over and it's still kind of holding steady at 20% right now. Working from home is very much a hot button issue for many reasons, but this population and demographic facet of this issue, these facets are certainly a new way, maybe, to look at this matter. Telework. Don't you wish we could all do that? But of course, it really does depend on your industry, the type of job you have. All right, we're going to switch gears and get to our text topic. So are you ready for this? It is kimjang, or kimchi making season. It has come upon us. So I want to know from you, the wavers out there, do you make your own kimchi? Do you buy it? Or maybe you are so lucky you have family or friends who supply the kimchi to you. If you fall into that category, you're so lucky. I envy you. So what is the best kimchi you have ever had? Because here in Korea, depending on the family recipe, also depending on the region you're from, there are different ingredients that go into the kimchi making process. Like right now, I am salivating just thinking about oysters. The 굴 with the freshly made kimchi. Okay, so I'll try not to salivate too much, but anyhow, 우리 집은 김치 담가 먹는다, 얻어 먹는다, 사 먹는다. Which one? 그리고 내가 먹어본 최고의 김치는 Ooh, let's hear all about your kimchi stories. So, you can send in your opinions, your thoughts to BFM's live stream live chat on YouTube. Go to the YouTube platform and type in BEFM and you find our channel. You can subscribe. I think we're like at 161,000 subscribers and going strong. So also you can log in and chat with our other wavers from your phone. Pound 9050 shop 9050. That's going to cost you 100 won. You can also reach me for free through Kakao Talk as well to find our, account. Type in BEFM, 부산영어방송, and add us as a friend first, and then you can send in your messages. And if you like, you can send in your photos too. Oh, if you have any kimchi photos, I would love that. That would be nice. But if you don't, that's fine as well. You can tune into Morning Wave in Busan in various ways on the radio in Busan, 90.5 or 103.3 FM, depending on which part of Busan you're listening from. Like I said, we're streaming live on YouTube right now. You can watch again at your leisure. And we're available on the BEFM app and the Papang app. Both are free, easy to download. So it is Tuesday morning. Let's see what's happening today. First up, we have in hour number 1, Andrew coming in for Wave Sports. In hour number 2, we have Bonnie for Simply Sustainable. And then for a special interview, which is also in hour number 2. Yesterday, I gave you a little preview of what we're going to tackle today. This fact sheet, the South Korea-U.S. joint fact sheet. Yes. We know it's been out, but we're going to go into the nitty-gritty details, unpacking this joint fact sheet. That's coming up with our expert in hour number 2. And I'll be back with news overview. It's now 7:07 and this is News Overview. Chief prosecutors resign over Daejangdong appeals case. Chief prosecutor of the Suwon District Court office, Park Jae-ok, and Song Ang of the Gwangju High Prosecutor's office resigned after demanding a detailed explanation over the decision to not appeal the Daejangdong ruling. South Korea proposes military summit with North Korea. The South Korean military yesterday officially proposed a summit with North Korea to discuss clarifying the military demarcation line, the MDL, with the demilitarized zone known as a DMZ in a first proposal of such kind in the Lee Jae-myung administration. UNESCO urges strong action over Jongmyo high-rise project, says Heritage Service. UNESCO has called for strong action by South Korea over the controversy surrounding building a high-rise near the World Heritage Site designated Jongmyo Shrine, the head of the Korea Heritage Service, or KHS, Humin said yesterday. Parliamentary subcommittee passes bill to make Constitution Day public holiday. The Parliamentary Interior and Safety Subcommittee passed a revision to the Public Holidays Act that would redesignate Constitution Day as a public holiday. Bangladesh sentences ousted leader to death. Bangladesh's former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has been sentenced to death for crimes against humanity over her crackdown on student-led protests last year. And this was News Overview. It's time for Now Busan. We have Sejin in the studio. Let's say hi first. Happy Tuesday.
Hello. It's cold today.
It is, right?
Yes.
So I wasn't just imagining it as I was running to the car to get to the station. I noticed, it is definitely cold. All right. It is all about kimchi today. Kimjang season is upon us. So I want to hear all the details. Do you have a favorite kimchi? Does your family make it? Do you buy it?
Yes, I got my favorite kimchi at kalguksu place or 돼지국밥 place. They are the best kimchi.
Did I hear someone's stomach grumbling? Was that
It's me.
Sejin?
It's me.
I heard something and it wasn't mine. Okay. So, yes, because they usually, do you prefer like the kaktuki? The cubed radish? Or do you like just like the freshly made kimchi?
Who say no to kaktuki as well? And kimchi, but I prefer kimchi to kaktuki.
Kimchi.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
And my mom always makes this every season. She gets really grumpy about like making it from scratch.
Right.
But like she always do it.
But I feel your mother's pain because like I wasn't really gonna do it this year, but my sister, if you're watching or listening, yeah, she didn't ask me. 통보했어요 저한테 동생이. She's like Saturday 언니 make time. I was like why? What's happening? She's like 1 p.m. We're making kimchi.
Okay.
She's like I ordered everything and it's fresh. We're gonna make it. I was like. Oh, 그래.
Have you got all the recipes?
Oh, well, she's in charge of the kimchi making. I just am the laborer.
Okay.
I'm the laborer. I put on the gloves, the really long
Voluntarily.
gloves. Yeah, not really, but and then I chide. That's about it. But yeah, thank you, 동생 of mine. All right, we're gonna jump into local news. There's been another update on the Gadeok new airport project, and it looks like the construction schedule is changing again.
Yeah. The construction period is now expected to stretch to about 100 months. The government announced it will officially present a plan for Gadeok, the new airport project, within this month and issue a rebidding notice by the end of the year, though delays into next year are still possible.
Yes, and so the original 84-month plan is no longer on the table?
Right. The 84-month schedule is almost certainly being extended, although Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport says no exact duration has been set yet. Industry Associate is expecting that longer timeline. The government is trying to tighten up the process this time and adding better safety measures and quicker selection process so they can hopefully avoid delays they had before.
Right, but I heard that the Ministry of Land and Infrastructure had already planned or prepared the core of the plan. So what's holding everything up?
Yes, the Ministry of Land has reportedly been unable to obtain final approval due to Minister Kim Yun-deok's busy schedule.
Okay.
Ever since they turned down Hyundai's bid back in April, Busan City and civic groups have been urging a swift follow-up process to avoid delays in construction and the airport opening.
Yes.
If they push rebidding into next year, everything's going to slip even further, like over a year behind.
I see.
Some say if the government can keep these timelines, they really need to give a good reason for the delays. And Busan officials said they are hoping for ministry to lay out the bidding plan as early as this week and get it all sorted by the end of the year.
Yes, indeed. So, I know this project is really important, not just for locals, for people traveling in and out. So hopefully they can get all of this straightened out. All right, next time, Busan's wartime heritage has reached an important milestone. So what is this?
Busan's heritage from its time as Korea's refugee capital, 피란수도, has now been placed on UNESCO's tentative list for World Heritage.
Yes.
Being on the tentative list means the site is one step closer to full inscription. It's only given to sites that show outstanding value and good management plans.
I see, but there are still several steps left, I hear.
Yes, it still needs candidate selection and UNESCO's on-site inspections. So still a few hoops. And at the moment, only 2 sites in Korea have made it to the tentative list, and the Busan's is one of them.
Okay.
These Busan sites really cover a wide range of modern history. The wartime heritage got 11 locations like Gyeongmudae, which is former temporary presidential residence.
Yes.
Amidong's refugee settlement, Busan Sport Pier 1, the UN Memorial Cemetery, and Yeongdo Bridge.
Right. And of course, all of these aspects are such a rich part of Busan's fabric. So we await word updates on this story. In the meantime, let's move to Busan's big Smart City project. This is the Gue-sung, is really starting to take shape now, right?
Yeah, this Dalby Children's Hospital introduced back in 2014 fortnight. You can pediatric care just unfilling the gap the way they want meant to. Out of Busan's 16 districts, 8 don't have such a single hospital, and even among the ones we do have, most don't stay open at night on weekends.
Yes. And so, we're talking, can you give us more information? Because,
Yes.
I see. Okay, so parents, they're basically left stranded when their kids fall sick?
Yeah, some parents say getting treatment now feels like trying to grab the moon. And one pediatric clinic in Hyundai stopped the service altogether because they lost a doctor and couldn't hire a replacement.
Yes. And, these hospitals are supposed to cover, times like evenings and weekends, correct?
Yes, they are meant to treat anyone under 18 after 6 p.m. on weekdays and throughout weekends and holidays. The number in Busan rose from 4 in the 2023 to 8 in 2024, and after one new designation, got 9.
Yes.
But after latest withdrawal, Busan is back down to 8 locations.
I see. So half the city basically still has none of these hospitals at all.
8 districts such as Junggu, Donggu, Seogu, and Suyeong have none. And 6 out of the 8 existing ones close after 6 p.m. on weekdays. Weekends, the remaining 2 close after 10 p.m.
Okay.
So after late evening, families basically have no choice but to turn up at the emergency room.
Right.
But even emergency rooms often lack a pediatric specialist.
Yes. So why not designate more hospitals as these so-called 달빛 hospitals? I mean, is there a reason that they can't expand?
For one, the criteria are strict, like having to have 2 pediatric specialists or at least 10,000 annual child patient cases. For another, the number of new pediatricians in the region is rather limited. As one professor put it, hospitals want to offer these services, but simply cannot recruit doctors.
I see. So let's go back to the whole Gue-delta project that I wanted to talk about. So what's happening there?
Busan City says it's now building the project cooperation and the core infrastructure for the Ecodelta smart city.
Yes.
Over the next 5 years, this cooperation will develop the leading district and provide wide range of smart services. And they are prioritizing robot technology to build systems that offer advanced services in fields like transport and daily living.
And this is indeed a huge project, right?
Indeed. It is the largest smart city project in Korea, running for 15 years, 5 years of construction and 10 years of cooperation. The budget is around 5.6 trillion won, and the site is roughly the size of Yeouido, with plans for homes, businesses, cultural spaces, and full of smart city ecosystem. And whatever profit they make, that goes straight back into the system, like upgrading smart services and developing new ones.
So they have already held this robot introduction pilot project opening ceremony, correct?
Yes, robots doing patrols, making coffee, carrying bags, and cleaning, all of that.
Yes.
In fact, it's the first time apartment complexes in Korea are getting this sort of robot service. And Mayor Park Hyung-jun says this city will work closely with other related agencies so residents can genuinely benefit from smart city services, smart services.
I see. Well, we're going to call it a wrap on all of the local news, and we'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Sajin.
Thank you.
All right, I'll be back with your traffic and weather.
Good morning.
Good morning.
굿모닝입니다.
Good morning.
좋은 아침입니다.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan. Major news, local buzz, and expert takes. It's all here on Morning Wave in Busan. Brighten up your morning commute with Morning Wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
It's now 7:19. Here's your traffic report. First up, an accident on Daedong-Hwamyeong Bridge going towards Kimhae right now. So please be aware of that area. Be careful. Next up, Luno-Samsung-daedo is congested from Myeongji Underpass to Shinho Bridge. It's also backed up on Mandok-daedo from Sukdeung to Deokcheon intersection. And it looks quite busy on Chungyang-daedo from pier number 5 to pier number 3. And there's traffic on the Dongso overpass from Hwangryong ramp to the old Kaegum tollgate. Currently, it is really cold. So it's 2 degrees. That's just my, layperson's way of saying it is really cold. The city is under the season's first cold wave impact preliminary report. Sitting at 2 degrees, it's going to go up to just 8 degrees. Across the nation, below freezing in many regions, including -2 in Seoul and -5 in Chuncheon. The wind chill factor is making it feel even colder, so please be aware of this, and you need to bundle up today. This was your traffic and weather. It's time for Top Stories. Haley's in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm sorry.
I
You're
panicked a little bit. I was like, did I not write in a number?
There was a 2 degree. I mean, it was there, but I was just like,
It's real,
people need to
though.
know.
It's
really
cold.
cold. Yes, so I apologize. Yes, it's all scientific. The forecasters, they put a number up there. Haley puts it there, and I just did,
It's real, though.
Yeah.
I mean, how cold? I would say like short padding. Not quite long.
But a producer's wearing long padding.
She lives in
wearing
her own little world.
Quilted padding.
Quilted. Quilted is okay. Maybe
Yeah.
not like fully padded. Yeah, like a thick fleece type of
Okay.
a deal.
We're talking kimchi. I am so hungry already. Thinking of like the 보쌈.
I'm a fan of kalguksu and kimchi together because I don't really eat kimchi, and I've pinpointed the reason. It's the salt factor.
You don't like
When
the
you
salt.
marinate it in salt, it just feels a little too salty. So I like 겉절이. And then actually, I know, last week, I came back from the gym. I was like, I'm kind of hungry. And then we had like a bowl of like sopbap, the pot cooked rice, not a pressure cooker, which like it's so good. And then a tub of seaweed, and my mama just made some fresh kimchi. So I just
bring some.
I stood because I devoured it. I stood there over the kitchen island and I was like, oh, maybe I'll just have one bite as like a post-workout snack. Yeah, no, I just kept.
Oh, it was this?
I just kept
I
going.
was trying to be nice.
Well, yes,
Yes.
so good.
Hence, no kimchi for us.
No kimchi for us. It's all
Haley.
in me.
Yes. All right. Well, we're going to jump into top stories. First, let's go to President Lee Jae-myung's Middle East plus Africa diplomatic trip.
Right. So first leg is happening right now. President Lee Jae-myung arrived at the United Arab Emirates, or the UAE, for his state visit Monday afternoon local time. So here he was welcomed once the presidential jet entered the airspace with a 4 fighter jet escort. So his first stop in the UAE was a war memorial, the Wahat al-Karama, or it's called Oasis of Dignity, that commemorates fallen soldiers. He then visited Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque, which is one of the most iconic Islamic landmarks, and he there honored the country's founding president.
Right.
And President Lee Jae-myung also met with South Koreans living in the UAE and said that the UAE would be the base camp for South Korea to venture into not only the Middle East, but to Africa and Europe. emphasizing that the two nations will open this new path for mutual prosperity.
That's right. So what's on the schedule for today?
Right. So today's actually the big day with the summit with the UAE's president, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. There will be an official, welcome reception in the morning and the summit followed by MOU signings and an official luncheon.
Okay.
The main agenda for the summit will be to boost cooperation between the two countries. They currently have a special strategic partnership.
Right.
And the e-government has been trying to expand and also diversify its defense industry contracts and exports. So we'll see if they'll make any pitches and sales here.
Okay.
Overall, the presidential office painted a larger picture of this administration diplomacy, starting with the G7 summit from June. The peak or the climax was, of course, the APEC summit in Gyeongju.
Right.
And they're calling this G20 and the accompanying trip the finale to signal to the world that South Korea is fully back after the political turmoil of last year.
Oh, yes. And speaking of political turmoil, we are approaching the one-year mark already. December 3rd, martial law declaration, and the various trials and investigations are nearing their respective ends.
Right. So we are looking ahead to the trial verdicts that'll be coming out. So first we have the insurrection trial, the major one that's being ruled by the Seoul Central District Court's 25th Criminal Division under Judge Gue-sung. They've decided to hear the final arguments mid-January.
Yes.
Of course, that doesn't mean the verdict will come out. It usually takes 1 to 2 months for the deliberation period. However, experts are actually looking at February because there are personnel shifts at the court scheduled to take place in February, so it'll have to come before.
I see.
So this includes the ruling on ex-President Yoon Suk-yeol's charges as him being the alleged head of the insurrection, abuse of authority, and obstruction of justice. Also, the court will rule on ex-defense minister Kim Yong-yeon as well as key police chiefs who are facing charges of also having allegedly played key roles in the martial law imposition.
That's right. So speaking of verdicts, former Prime Minister Han Duck-soo's verdict is actually due earlier, and several witnesses were called to the stand yesterday.
Right. So yesterday it was a major trial with very high-profile witnesses. The kind of star witness was former Finance Minister Choi Sang-mok,
Right.
because he testified that he, Choi, tried to stop ex-President Yoon from declaring martial law on the day or night of December 3rd.
Right.
However, Yoon allegedly said it cannot be reversed. Choi also added that he, at least during the 20 minutes that he was in the room with the other cabinet ministers, he did not see then Prime Minister Han express any opposition or objections to the martial law imposition, which could be kind of key evidence against him. Former Foreign Minister Cho Tae-yeol also apparently asked Yoon to reconsider, according to Choi. And then also former People Power Party floor leader Chu Kyung-ho was called to the stand. However, he refused to testify because he's actually facing an arrest warrant for this very case.
I see.
Another witness was former chief of the National Fire Agency, Ho Seok-gun. He testified that he received a call from then Interior Minister Lee Sang-min, and he mentioned cutting off power and water to certain media outlets, and he allegedly ordered Ho to cooperate if the police were dispatched to these media outlets.
I see.
By the way, Division 33 under Judge Lee Jin-kwan is going to hear closing arguments on November 26th, so that's coming up fairly soon. The verdict to be announced either January 21st or the 28th.
I see. So obviously a lot going on. And then we also have the former First Lady Kim Gun-hee and the ongoing trial there.
Right. Ongoing trial is wrapping up with final hearings scheduled for December 3rd.
Right.
Verdict is expected early next year. But then there are still investigations ongoing by the special counsel led by Min Jung-gi. This special counsel has up to a month and a half left in the investigation period. So far, it's made in 15 indictments under detention, including ex-First Lady Kim Gun-hee and the 6 others without detention. However, in its extension request that was submitted to the National Assembly last month,
Right.
the special counsel stipulated that it's working on 15 additional cases. It hasn't made indictments yet. The
Right.
biggest one is the Yangpyeong Expressway case, the ending point having been switched to the property that the First Lady's family owned.
Yes.
So they're currently racing against a ticking clock because right now, now, in its current iteration, the special counsel has until November 28th to investigate. It can extend its period for one final time upon approval from President Lee Jae-myung. So that would give it the final due date to December 28th.
I see. So thanks for keeping track of all the cases and giving us the details. Of course, more to follow. For our next story, though, we're going to talk about house affordability or lack thereof.
Right. So
Yes.
real estate and housing, rents, also a hot button issue, especially, of course, in Seoul.
Yes.
So how much is it going to, or how long is it going to cost you to save to afford a house in Seoul? Well, you would have to save every single cent or won of your salary for almost 14 years.
14
years. So this is what's called the price income ratio, the PIR, which basically measures how long you'd have to save your income to afford something. In this case, a median home in Seoul for someone who makes median income.
Yes.
So the PIR came out to 13.9, so almost 14 years to be able to afford a mid-sized median home.
Yes. What about for other regions?
Right, significantly lower. We're getting into the single digits. So Sejong was the second highest at 8.2. So someone living or working in Sejong would have to save up over 8 years of their salary. Gyeonggi, almost 7 years at 6.9. Daegu, actually surprisingly high, third highest, 6.7. Incheon at 6.6. Busan's figures, you'd have to save up all of your salary for 6 solid years.
Wow.
But despite this, or maybe perhaps of this, a majority of the households were homeowners. So they're really kind of trying to get that, of course, with loans
Yes.
at 61.4%, marking a slight uptick in home ownership from last year.
Right.
Of course, there was a regional disparity there. People tended to own more homes in non-capital areas. 69.4% in provinces, 63.5% in metropolitan cities, 광역시, and that dropped to 55.6% in capital
Not
areas.
surprising.
So in reality, right, it took an average person from when they started living on their own, being an independent household, 7.9 years, so almost 8 years to own their own home, which was 2 months longer than last year.
So that's, the status. What about rent, though?
Right. So again, for Seoul, rent has been going up compared to one's income. And more people are renting on monthly basis as opposed to 전세, the lump sum deposit.
Right.
So according to the Land Infrastructure and Transport Ministry, as of September, 65.9% of new rental transactions were monthly rentals. The average rent in Seoul, 1.44 million won, 144만 won, and that's about $990. This compared to the median income for a 4-person household, that was about a quarter of their income. By the way,
Right.
median income for a 4-person household was a little over 6 million won.
Sure.
So experts are saying that higher end rentals, so we're talking about 100만 won, 1 million won or higher, they accounted for about half of the market right now, showing that these expensive rents are becoming a new normal.
Yes, indeed. So what accounted for the high proportion of monthly rentals, though?
Right, because there's a fear of 전세, right? Because of the scams,
Right.
as well as the government's loan restrictions, both for mortgages and these long-term rentals.
Sure.
There's also a decrease in long-term rental homes that are out on the market, with homeowners preferring to rent on a monthly basis.
Right.
So then high demand plus limited supply driving up prices.
I see. So there you have it, a snapshot of the real estate across the country. Now, the weather. It's cold, right? As many of you are saying. And the weather's suddenly having taken a turn. It is kimchi making season here in Korea. And the time is now to start buying your Asian cabbage.
I mean, complain all you want, Catherine, but your sister is wise. It is now. So Asian cabbage, pechu prices have stabilized ahead of kimjang season. So
Okay.
really good news there. This is according to the Korea Agri-Fisheries and Food Trade Corporation. As of the second week of November, one head of Asian or Napa cabbage, retail prices have come to 3,392 won, right? Half of what it was last month.
Okay.
Other major ingredients for kimchi also looking pretty good. Radishes, 무, down from 2,200 won range to 1,700 range per radish. Leeks are at 2,964 per kilo. onions, 1,900 won per kilo. So cheaper prices also for gochugaru, the red pepper flakes, peeled garlic, and ginger.
Now I'm smiling. Sister of mine, you did well.
She did.
What accounted for these lower than usual prices, though?
Which was surprising because we had a terrible summer when it came to the weather, heat waves, and heavy rain, which doesn't usually look good for produce. But the government implemented these concentrated supply controls around Chuseok, and the effects are showing now, especially starting in mid to late October.
Yes.
The agricultural authorities, they've also been releasing the reserve supply of cabbages in phases and also injected a total of 50 billion won to subsidize sales and discounts for retailers.
I have a funny message I have to read from
yeah?
Gue-sung. He says, 배추값이 올라야 저희 부모님이 김치 안 담그 드실 것 같은데요. Because his family, he told me, 300 to 400 heads.
100?
300개 그때 그랬던 것
Are
같아요.
they supplying a whole village?
Apparently
Can
they
I be a
are.
part of that village?
I know, adopt us. Yes. Well, thank you for all the news. We'll check in with you in hour number 2. Thank you, Haley.
See you in a bit.
All right, so we're ready for our first song of the morning. 피디님 저 때문인가요? White by Paul Kim.
너도 오늘만은 기억하고 있겠지 벌써 만난 지도 1년이 됐어 우리 그때보다 변한 것이 있다면 좀 더 커져버린 사랑일 거야 겨울 내내 너를 생각하며 만들던 빨간 스웨터도 입혀줄 거야 항상 포근했던 네 마음과 어울려 날 생각하면 정말 좋겠어 거리에 함께 나온 연인들 밤새 들려오는 노랫소리들 모두가 우리들의 만남을 축복하는 예쁜 선물들 같아 저기 하얀 눈이 내려 저 하늘 모두 내려 우리 서로 닿은 마음 위로 사랑이 내려 살짝 네 가슴에 기대 안겨 먼저 말을 할까 나를 느끼는 너의 모든 걸 사랑해 우리 처음 만난 1년 전에 오늘도 지금처럼 하얀 눈이 내렸지 추억 끝까지 빨개진 날 보면서 넌 놀려대며 웃고 있었어 가만히 빛을 내는 촛불에 지금 내 마음을 비춰보일까 이렇게 너와 함께 있는 나 세상 누구보다 행복하다고 저기 하얀 눈이 내려 저 하늘 모두 내려 우리 서로 닿은 마음 위로 사랑이 내려 살짝 네 가슴에 기대 안겨 먼저 말을 할까 나를 느끼는 너의 모든 것 지금 네 바람이 들려 저 하늘까지 들려 나도 오늘 밤 맹 같은 소원 빌게 될 거야 많은 시간들이 흘러가도 우리들의 사랑 지금처럼만 간직해주길 기도해 많은 시간들이 흘러가도 우리들의 사랑 지금처럼만 간직해주길 기도해
It's time for
Sports.
just sports.
Way sports.
That's right. It's not way, it's wave.
Oh,
Enunciate. No, I was kidding. How are you, Mr.
No,
Mustache? Movember.
I feel rushed here because I was trying to get some breaking news out the presses.
Really?
Well, kind of. We'll just run with that.
It better
okay?
be good. It better be so good today.
Jake Paul. I don't know. Jake Paul is the new thing. I don't
really?
know. It's
Okay.
it's not on your notice there. It's
No.
that's how hot it is.
It's in your head.
I
I
needed
have a
something.
question for
Sure.
you. Text topic time.
Yeah.
To give you a little breathing room.
All right. No,
All
I'm
right,
good.
ready?
I'm ready. Yeah. What do we got?
It is kimjang season.
Okay. Sure.
Does your wife make it? Or maybe
Nope.
does your mother-in-law make it?
I'm assuming so.
Where do you guys get your kimchi?
There's a great big place
Uh-huh.
that people buy food from.
The market.
The market. Yeah.
Oh.
No, we actually, to be honest, I think we're quite lucky because, yes, my mother-in-law makes kimchi, so we get kimchi from my mother-in-law. But there's always a few friends who will be like, oh, is there somewhere we can drop kimchi off to you? And we're pretty lucky like that. Yeah.
Aw,
so
you're doing something right.
yeah, but I also feel like maybe our family
Yes.
doesn't eat as much kimchi as
okay.
some other families. Not because we don't like it. That's not it. Don't be the haters out there. Settle down.
yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't know. For me, I eat like if I go out for barbecue, I'm just like more kimchi, more kimchi.
What
more
kind?
Kimchi.
Like the regular pechu kind?
Yeah,
Or
but I
do you
usually
like
put it on the grill.
I'll 배고파.
I usually put it on the grill or 무 kimchi.
Yes.
I like 무 kimchi a lot as well. Yeah. So yeah, there we go.
I'm
but
so
but it's also it's funny because I know we could go down a massive rabbit hole here about
Yes.
kimchi. But I'm saying like you could say, oh, I like this kimchi, but at this restaurant.
I know.
But you go somewhere else and it's
something-
totally different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Let's jump into Wave Sports. And
Yes.
by the way, they're calling you Andrew 수염 Super Mario 같아요.
It is it is compared to last week it is definitely pronounced.
No, he's not Mario. He's Wario, the evil character.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
All right.
what do we have? What do we have?
All right, so Portugal legend Cristiano Ronaldo has confirmed. Now, I'm saying this with take this with a grain of salt because
Grain of salt.
we never know
Yes.
with him that the 2026 FIFA World Cup in Canada, US, and Mexico will definitely be his last. Now, speaking with CNN's Becky Anderson at the Tourism Summit in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, the 40-year-old, I can't believe he's 40 years old and
I
saying,
know.
well, this one will definitely be my last, right? Said he plans to retire from major international competition after the tournament.
Okay.
Which will be co-hosted by the U.S., Mexico, and Canada, as I already said.
North America.
Yeah, he goes on to say, I will be 40 years old, and I think it will be, the moment in the big competition regarding, how big the event is. And I think that's where he wants to go out at, you know what I mean? Ronaldo said, reflecting on his international career that spans more than 2 decades. Now, we're going to get to a clip here of him talking to Becky Anderson from CNN. And you can see how playful he is with this because I think a lot of people are really wondering about this. Let's get to the clip.
Recently said that you will retire soon. How soon is soon?
Well, the soon for me, I mean, in 10 years. In 10 years. So the people realize that when I say soon, it's in 6 months, 1 year. No, I'm joking. As I tell you before, I feel very good in this moment. I score goals. I still feel quick and sharp. Enjoy my game in the national team and Al Nassr. But of course, let's be honest. When I mean soon, it's probably 1-2 years. I'm still be at the game.
So you expect this World Cup to be your last, do you?
Definitely yes, because I will be 41 years old.
I love that. The fact that, we were talking about this off air. He takes such good care of himself.
Yeah, and I think that's a testament
Right.
to his, the way he respects the sport,
Right.
respects his teams and his teammates, and also himself.
Yes.
Now, Ronaldo, the all-time leading scorer in men's international football with 143 goals, not the all-time greatest goal scorer in international football. That's Miss Sinclair from Canada. We'll just leave that out there.
Okay.
All right. Said he's enjoying the moment, but acknowledged that his full retirement from the sport is really soon. And he was in this interview also that he was talking about not just from international football, but from, maybe his contract that he has right now in Saudi could be his last.
Okay. Just like professional football altogether.
Yeah, a lot of people are really thinking, is he going to go back and play for a team in Portugal? Just like, the players tend to do that, want to go like one season to the team that helped him get to where they were going. But we're not really sure if that's going to happen. He also talks about his kids and how, excited he is for them coming up. And then he said, if they break all of his records or they're better than me, he's not going to be jealous. I mean, who's going to be jealous when he's got $1 billion in the bank?
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Between him and I know people talk about like, Cristiano Ronaldo,
Yes.
Ronaldo, whatever you call him, versus Lionel Messi. They're just amazing. Irrespective of who you think is better.
Yeah, I think,
yeah.
we don't have a whole lot more time with it.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it while you can.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Speaking of soccer or football,
Yes.
another figure that we want to talk about.
Yeah, so, the last week on Friday, I mean, at the end of the show last week, I kind of mentioned really quick that the Korean national team for the football team would be having some friendlies. Now, they've already qualified for the World Cup. These are just, some last minute chances for the manager to make some tweaks.
Yes.
And we've often talked about some of the things he's doing. You're like, him and Han.
Questionable.
That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
But I also think maybe this time around, he's like the manager is actually trying to do some testing, to see if what will work.
Yes.
So after and one of these guys that came back, Gue-sung, after nearly 20 months away from international football, Joe made whatever we want to say here, made a dream return by scoring South Korea's his second goal in this game. And it was really funny because people were wondering, is he going to start? Is he not? Will he play it all over these two friendly matches? Because he actually came out and said he wasn't 100% physically. Now, maybe the manager's not happy that he came out and said that into the press afterwards. But he did score the second goal after Son Heung-min, put the team ahead 1-0.
That was a curler. That was nice.
I mean, maybe that's what I should be talking about, that goal.
I mean, that was classic.
But maybe that's just to be expected now. This game was in Daejeon in front of 34,000 fans. Now, Joe, once a breakout star. Now, this is like in the 2022 World Cup. Everyone was, I believe his socials went from like, I don't know, it was like
blew up.
4,000 to 400,000 overnight. I mean, I could be, a little off on the numbers there, but it was something like that, right?
It was his aura, right?
Yeah, at the Qatar World Cup.
Yes.
But he had an injury, he had surgery, he had an infection in that, which has kept him out of football for, over a year.
Right.
Just coming back and playing for his club team. He's 27 years old. He's looking to, get back in the fold. And to be 100% honest, I think it's, between him and maybe one other person that, for that, starting forward. Because, yes, Son Heung-min can go up there, but you want to be able to use him to get balls into the box.
Exactly.
And it'd be maybe between him and Oh Hyun-gyu.
Yes.
But we'll have to wait and see.
That's right. Well, tonight, we have another friendly.
I thought you were going to sing a song there, a little Smashing Pumpkins song.
No. Oh, so no.
No?
Yeah,
okay,
no.
come on now. Yeah, there's another game tonight. So this will round out the international break for South Korea and also close out 2025 for the team in a highly anticipated rematch against Ghana. Now, people are maybe wondering, rematch against Ghana, where is this coming from? Well, you have to go back to that Qatar 2022 World Cup.
That's right.
Where the 3-2 defeat against them, put them out of the tournament. So the Tigre Warriors enter fresh off that 2-0 win against Bolivia, highlighted by the goals that we already said. But we're kind of waiting to see here what the coach is going to do in this, because there's some selection questions. Also, who's going to play in goal?
That was going to be my question to you.
Yeah, but this also Kim Sung-gyu also kind of maybe picked up a bit of an injury in that Bolivia game. So I think Jo Hyun-woo will probably start this. I think maybe the manager thought that that's the way it was going to go anyway. Split between the games and then see how it goes over this time because, after this, this is super important because they need to keep their seeding, their ranking, going into the draw for the World Cup because there's no other international games before that, so they don't want to go down.
True.
They want to stay where they're at so they're in a better place and get put into a better pot.
So where is Korea right now?
22nd in the world.
22, really?
Yeah. Well, surprised over there.
Yeah. Nice.
That's like 22.
Nice.
Go on, boys.
Yes.
Go on. So hopefully they can avenge that World Cup loss and then, finish things off here in 2025 on a high.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, that would be nice to get that win under the belt.
Yes.
And let's get to our final bit of wave sports. What do you have for us?
Well, I have two things here, and I know we have a couple minutes so we can talk about them. I'm going to talk about the Olympics in a moment, but a special Olympics, everybody. But it's some news that just came out yesterday was that Jake Paul, Jake Paul's been, it was glorified YouTube boxer, this kind of stuff. But he has been fighting better boxers as of late and has officially announced that he will face former world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua in an 8-round bout December 19th in Miami. So if this goes the way people think, a lot of people think Anthony Joshua is just going to knock him out. But if he can somehow prove that he can last 8 rounds.
Right.
If he could maybe get the best of Joshua. But then, people will be like, well, was Joshua really trying? These kind of things. Critics are going to be critics. But I think this is they're calling it Judgment Day for Paul. If he does well here, maybe he'll get some more fights. If not, a lot of people will think maybe the evolution of his career is complete, but we'll have to wait and see.
All right. What Olympic news do you have for us?
Yeah, some big Olympic news. Now, a lot of people are wondering, Olympics, they're a bit of a ways away. They are. The Winter Olympics are in Milan 2026. We'll be talking about that a lot coming up. But we're going to be talking about the Housekeeping Olympics.
Housekeeping? Like cleaning?
Yeah, housekeeping. That's a Tommy Boy reference. I wonder, hopefully some people can get that. All right, so held every year in Las Vegas, part of the ISSA show North America. The Housekeeping Olympics brings together housekeeping teams from major hotels and facilities in the area, to celebrate one of the toughest and most overlooked professions.
Okay,
So
I didn't know it was that. I thought you meant like cleaning your own house.
No. This
is
is how Vegas is like the conference capital of the world. So it's one of those things. But then they bring in, teams from all the major hotels and centers around. So
These are professionals.
Yeah, and you can go on NoTube and watch this. So we have, I think the bed making races are the best. Because they have to get the sheets over it. It's pretty amazing. Mop relays, vacuum sprints.
Love it.
And then also the team. So it's a team from each hotel. All right. So I don't know if there's any incentive from the hotels. Like if there's if you win, you're going to get this. Maybe a week off. I don't know. Yeah, so it's big crowds. You can actually check it out online. But I thought it was kind of funny. Little lightheartedness, bring it in for our sports, and then get ready for the Olympics. That I'm sure starting in December we're going to be talking all about it.
That's right. Well, thank you for coming in with another rendition of Wave Sports. And we'll check in with you next week. Oh, dear. Okay.
I love it.
All right, we're going to say bye to Andrew.
Bye-bye, everyone.
And a little bit of nickiness. But final song for hour number 1. Tonight by the Smashing Pumpkins. I'll be back at 8.
more you change, the less you feel. Believe in me. Believe. Life can change, but you're not stuck in vain. Not the same, different tonight, so bright. But you sure you could be right if you held yourself up to the light. And the embers never fade. If you sitting by the lake, the place where you will walk. Believe in me.
Your bridge to the world. BEFM 부산 영어방송.
나에게 맞는 창업 어디서 찾지? 여기서 찾아. 11월 27일부터 3일간 백스콜에서 열리는 2025 KFA 프랜차이즈 창업박람회 부산. 최신 창업 트렌드부터 맞춤 세미나, 경품 이벤트까지 사전 등록하면 무료 입장 가능하니 놓치지 마세요. 검색창에 KFA 프랜차이즈 창업박람회.
랜드로버의 모든 것이 한 곳에. 전시장과 서비스 센터가 만나 랜드로버 부산 센텀 컴플렉스 센터로 더 새로워졌습니다. 신차 상담에서 애프터 서비스까지 원스톱 서비스를 만나다. 랜드로버 공식 리테일러 HS 효성 프리미어 모터스.
기업체 사장님들 아직도 직영으로 식당 운영하고 계십니까? 위탁급식과 도시락 전문기업 더 좋은 푸드에 맡겨보십시오. 운영비 절감 효과 확실합니다. 식대는 협의 후 맞춰드립니다. 지역 부산 경남 051-784-0877 051-784-0877.
혹시 지금 운전 중이신가요? 어린이 교통사고 피해자 수는 지난 3년 평균 약 9만 명. 특히 어린이 보호구역 안전기준이 강화된 이후에도 어린이 보호구역 내 사고는 지속적으로 발생하고 있습니다. 스쿨존에서는 반드시 시속 30km 이하 서행, 스쿨존 내 불법 주정차 금지, 차량 출발 전 앞뒤 좌우 살피는 습관으로 어린이가 안전한 도시를 만듭니다. 참, 운전 중 휴대전화 사용은 모두에게 위험합니다. 우리 모두를 위한 교통안전, 나부터 실천하면 모두가 안전해집니다. 어린이가 안전하게 뛰어놀 수 있는 부산. 아이 키우기 좋은 도시는 우리 모두의 미래이자 희망입니다. 이 캠페인은 어린이가 안전한 부산을 만드는 은행, BNK 부산은행과 함께합니다.
Brr! It's freezing outside. Let's crank up the heat.
Wait, you don't have to. Lowering the temperature by just 2 degrees can save a lot of energy.
2 degrees? That small change really matters?
You'd be surprised. If 10% of Korean households lower their heating by just 2 degrees, the effects are like planting about 350,000 trees a year.
That's magical. Then I'll just bundle up instead.
Smart move. Try wearing some thermal underwear or warm socks.
Plus, when you go out, don't turn the heater off completely. Set it to away mode or 외출 mode.
That way, it uses less fuel than turning it off and reheating the whole place later. Turn down the heat, but not your warmth.
This campaign is brought to you by BEFM, Busan 영어방송.
부울경의 미래, 부산, 울산, 경남 방송발전협의회 운영위원장 성현우입니다. 북극 항로의 핵심지는 어디일까요? 대한민국 해양 수도권 부산, 울산, 경남입니다. 북극 항로를 품고 세계로 부산, 울산, 경남이 하나로 뭉칩시다.
The time is now 8 o'clock.
It's now 8 o'clock and this is Spotlight News. Chief prosecutors resign over Daejangdong appeals case. Chief prosecutor of the Suwon District Office, Park Jae-ok, and Song Gang of the Gwangju High Prosecutor's Office resigned after demanding a detailed explanation over the decision to not appeal the Daejangdong ruling. The resignations come a week after a statement signed by 18 top prosecutors demanded that the acting prosecutor general provide a full explanation over the decision. Both Park and Song put their names on the statement. The Justice Ministry is reportedly considering demoting the 18 chief prosecutors, which has sparked criticism that the move may be an attempt to muffle the officials. South Korea proposes military summit with North Korea. The South Korean military yesterday officially proposed a summit with North Korea to discuss clarifying the military demarcation line, the MDL, with the demilitarized zone, the DMZ, in a first such proposal in the Lee Jae-myung administration. The suggestion comes amid frequent MDL crossings by North Korean soldiers, including those who were armed, while working near the border, raising concerns about spontaneous conflicts. Deputy Minister for National Defense Policy Kim Hong-chul said in a statement that the summit would seek to ease military tension and that he expects a positive and prompt response from North Korea. UNESCO urges strong action over Jongmyo high-rise project, says Heritage Service. UNESCO has called for strong action by South Korea over the controversy surrounding building a high-rise near the World Heritage Site designated Jongmyo Shrine, the head of the Korea Heritage Service, or KHS, Humin, said yesterday. Ha said that the message issued by the World Heritage Center strongly recommends an impact assessment report for Seoul City's plans to allow tall buildings in the district across the street from the Royal Shrine, and that Seoul's approval of the redevelopment project be suspended until the assessment is complete. Seoul City expressed regrets over such pressure by the KHS, but welcomed a meeting of relevant entities proposed by the KHS. Parliamentary Subcommittee passes bill to make Constitution Day a public holiday. The Parliamentary Interior and Safety Subcommittee passed a revision to the Public Holidays Act that would redesignate Constitution Day as a public holiday. The July 17th holiday was classified as a commemorative day in 2008, making it the only one out of the 5 national days to not be an official day. President Lee Jae-myung previously called for Constitutional Day to be reinstated as a public holiday. If the bill passes the National Assembly, Constitutional Day will become a public holiday again for the first time in 18 years, starting next year. Bangladesh sentences ousted leader to death. Bangladesh's former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has been sentenced to death for crimes against humanity over her crackdown on student-led protests last year. The 78-year-old Hasina was found guilty of allowing lethal force to be used against protesters, resulting in the death of some 1,400. The ex-prime minister has been exiled in India since she was ousted in July of last year and was tried in absentia by the International Crimes Tribunal in Bangladesh. This was Spotlight News. Here we go. It's time for Wagle Wagle. I said it real no, because one of our professors thought it was Wagga Wagga.
Should we explain? It's wagle wagle means like we're clamoring or, I say waggling, but we're like chatting about heated discussions. We're spilling the tea.
Do we need to change?
I think next season we should spill the tea. Tea time?
Tea time?
Tea time?
Yes,
tea time.
yes. Anyhow, so that's why I said it like that today. Wagga wagga 아니고 waggle waggle. There's the lier or the L there. So let's dive into our first Wagali story. There may have been this slight rift between the South Korean military and Japan's self-defense forces?
Right. So the South Korean Navy recently told Japan's Maritime Defense Forces that South Korea will postpone this joint search and rescue training that was scheduled. And this was reported on by the Japanese media outlets, which cited officials from both countries.
Right.
So this joint training, it happened for 10 different occasions between 1999 and 2017, but it was suspended in December of 2018 due to an incident at that time that caused conflict between the two nations.
Yes.
So it was supposed to resume this month, and it was supposed to be the symbol of boosting bilateral cooperation.
So what's the reason for this fallout?
Right. So it actually goes back to this incident from 2 weeks ago. This is when Japan refused to allow South Korea's Black Eagles aerobatic team, to refuel at a Japanese airbase. The reason for this was because Tokyo confirmed that the Black Eagles flights, they recently conducted training around Dokdo, and that caused them to launch protests and refuse the refueling. But because of this refusal, South Korea had to pull out of the Dubai Air Show, which the Black Eagles were en route to.
Okay.
So following the incident, South Korea also notified Japan that it is suspending the participation of its military band at a Japanese event that was scheduled to take place. The paper later reported that while the militaries are continuing their suspension of exchanges, the governments themselves, they are seeking to calm things down so that these incidents won't affect the larger bilateral ties.
Right. Because, we've come this far. So, okay. Well, next, a few months back, we reported on a story of a South Korean scientist who was detained at a U.S. airport, and we finally have updates on this.
Right. He's finally been released after 4 months.
Wow.
Right. So this is Korean scientist Kim Tae-hung. He was detained by the Customs and Border Patrol, the CBP, for secondary questioning from San Francisco International Airport.
Right.
This incident happened on July 21st. So a little bit of background. He has an American green card, so he's a permanent student and is a PhD student at Texas A&M studying Lyme disease vaccination.
Okay.
He went to the U.S. at the age of 5, so he's lived there pretty much all his life, and he had returned to Korea for his brother's wedding and was going back to Texas. But at the time of the arrest, a spokesperson for Border Patrol told the Washington Post that if a green card holder is found guilty of a drug-related crime, then he or she receives a notice to appear, alluding to this being a potential reason. So Kim did have a prior for marijuana possession, but completed his community service hours. So it should have been pretty much done with.
Okay. So what do we know about the circumstances surrounding his release, though?
Right. So we know that he's been released about 4 months in detention from ICE Detention Center, Immigration and Customs Enforcement Center in Texas. And this is according to the National Korean American Service and Education Consortium, the NAKASEC, or they say NAKASEC. So NAKASEC, which has been representing him and helping him out, they argue that Kim was bounced around from detention centers in California, Arizona, and to Texas. And basically, since his case went from Border Patrol to ICE, he was not afforded his full rights during the transfers. The immigration court heard his case last month, which is why he's released, because the Border Patrol, they were not able to present appropriate documents to justify arresting him and keeping him detained. However, the group also argues that ICE detained him for 4 additional days after he was supposed to be released.
Oh, goodness. So a lot of bouncing around. Finally released. Well, thanks for the update on this story. All right, let's go to some international stories. Are we talking about the Louvre again? Has there been another breach?
There has.
Oh.
I mean, you'd think.
Right.
And then we also learned their password is Louvre.
Right.
Yeah, so that was the whole thing. That's not the story we're focusing on. Except this time, people didn't take anything out of the Louvre. They added some things. I know. So 2 Belgian TikTokers, they snuck in their own painting, a self-portrait of themselves to the Louvre, and they managed to hang it in the same room as the Mona Lisa.
Oh my gosh.
AKA the most crowded room at the Louvre.
Yes.
And the entire thing was captured on video, and thus we have photos on our YouTube channel. I mean, the picture is fairly small.
Yes.
I mean, I would say roughly the size of the Mona Lisa. I jest. So the 2 individuals are known for doing these reckless challenges, and they claim that they did this to verify whether the museum, because they said they'd boosted their security. Well, did you?
Well, obviously not.
I mean, maybe they were more concerned about things being snuck out, not snuck in.
I mean, nonetheless, this is the Louvre, right?
I know. I'm not defending. They get no defense. Yeah.
So how did they manage to walk into the museum with a small, but still a full painting, and it looked, at least in the photo, like they were putting it up on the wall?
They did. So there were some steps because it came in a frame. The frame was assembled with toy blocks, the Scandinavia-based blocks. So they had it in pieces and they assembled it into frames once inside, which also, when 2 people are on a table or on the ground doing the blocks, that's also odd. Anyway, so the small painting was rolled up as well. It's, again, self-portrait of 2 of them.
Yes.
But again, when they were on the walls putting it up, how did anyone not notice?
Okay, so be that as it may, you described it so well. How did they manage to hang the painting?
I mean, that is something for the securities to figure out, right, for the museum to figure out. And really, this does not look good for them.
Yes.
The original plan, by the way, was to hang it right next to the Mona Lisa. But at least the security was there doing something right, because the TikTokers say in a video there are too many guards for them to do this.
Okay.
But they did manage to hang it in the same exhibition hall, but they just booked it out of there immediately to not trigger or provoke the guards.
I wonder if that's illegal.
Yeah.
Because they didn't steal anything.
I tried to look for it,
Right,
but now, I mean, there weren't really descriptions on it. But now that this has happened, maybe there will be rules. But I'm sure there has to be at least a permit for it. I mean, I'm not going to go hang my face on the Louvre walls.
We want an update, if there are any.
Yes.
Send them our way.
I shall.
For our final Waggle story, this may be good news for all of our waivers, really?
Yeah, so speaking more than one language keeps you younger. This is why we look so youthful.
Okay,
I'm so glad you're doing this too. All right, so this is according to an international study. Speaking multiple languages may protect both brain and body health. So this was a study conducted by Dr. Agustin Ibanez from Trinity College Dublin, and it was published in Nature Aging, titled Multilingualism Protects Against Accelerated Aging in Cross-Sectional and Longitudinal Analyses of 27 European countries.
What?
Okay, I'm out of
what's
breath
the
now.
science behind it? That was just like too big
I
of
mean,
a mouthful.
if you wanted to look it up, I gave you the title, but they analyzed data from over 86,000 participants across Europe. Europe, showing that people who spoke multi-languages experience lower biobehavioral aging. So what is biobehavioral aging?
Yes.
There's this framework.
Okay.
This is a model, works with AI. It predicts a person's biological age from physical conditions like blood pressure, diabetes, sleep problems, sensory loss, sight, hearing, etc. And then there are also protective factors, so things like physical activity, functional ability, education.
Yes.
So studies found that from people from countries that in Europe that commonly speak at least one additional language, so
Sure.
bilingual or more, 2.17 times less likely to experience accelerated aging, so more than double.
Yes.
Monolinguals, people who spoke only one language, were then over twice as likely to show early aging patterns. So, of course, this is correlation, not causality. But
Yes.
Dr. Ibanez said that language learning, because it engages core brain networks, and that's all related to attention, memory, executive control, and social interaction, you could potentially expose yourself to double, triple the number of people, cultures out there.
Yes.
And that may reinforce resilience throughout life.
So thank you. And our producer says, 오늘부터 언어 하나 더 배우러 갑니다. So you're going to be like
trilingual.
You're going to be just not trilingual, but you're going to be like 14 then.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Maybe we all should.
Well, thank you for going over all the Waggly news, and we'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Haley.
Have a great day.
All right. And it's now time for your traffic update. It's time for your traffic update. It's now 8:15 on this Tuesday morning. First up, there is an accident on Garak-daero from Garak Ramp to Busan Newport right past the ramp. There's also congestion on the Dongso overpass from Kamjeon Ramp to the old Gaegeum toll gate. It's backed up on Nakdong-Namno from Gangso Police Station to Seongsan three-way intersection. And there's some backup on Chungnyeol-daero from Minam to Naesong intersection. Busan is under the season's first cold wave impact preliminary report with current temperatures sitting at 4 degrees. It's really cold. The central and western parts of Busan are under a cold wave advisory. And guess what? The high, it's only going to go up to 8 degrees today here in Busan. Across the nation, below freezing in many parts of the country, the wind chill factor is making the real field temperatures even colder. So, you know what to do. You're going to have to bundle up, wear lots of layers, and please take care of your health. This was your traffic and weather. It's time for a special interview. During the 2025 APEC summit in Gyeongju, President Donald Trump made a state visit to South Korea on October 29th, marking his second meeting with President Lee Jae-myung, and the two leaders pledged to open a new chapter in this Korea-U.S. alliance, emphasizing things like peace, security, and shared prosperity on the Korean Peninsula and across the Indo-Pacific. And just a few days ago, the joint fact sheet outlining their commitments was released. And this fact sheet, people were waiting on it. So today, we're going to break down what is exactly in that document and explore its implications with our expert guest. Joining us once again is Professor Kim Byung-ju, former diplomat and affiliate professor at Hankuk University of Foreign Studies. So let's say hi. Hi, how are you, Professor?
Good morning. I'm doing good. Thank you very much for having me back.
Absolutely. To begin our conversation today, Professor, what would you say is the overall significance of this joint fact sheet for the Korea and U.S. alliance, especially coming right after, or at least, shortly thereafter, the Gyeongju APEC summit?
Yes, this release of the joint fact sheet is an important step in a long, protracted negotiation between Korea and the United States for the last several months. First thing that we remember is President Lee Jae-myung's visit to the White House, the summit that took place back in August. The thing is, leading to that point, already several months of negotiation went on. So it's hard to kind of track back since inauguration of Donald Trump a month or two later, I guess, early on, the negotiation between Korea and the United States began. And in my calculation, there would be 8-9 months of negotiation that has been continuing. And after August summit, which we thought was a very good one in terms of what Korea had secured, for 4 months, the details were not kind of being tied up, and agreements with other countries were coming in. So there was a level of a little bit of uneasiness or even nervousness leading up to the Gyeongju APEC summit as well. And then there were a little bit of further steps taken, but still no written statement was released at that time. Right. So that's about a month and a half, I suppose, since then. And again, without anything written on the side of Korea, there were kind of uneasiness again, saying what's going on, things are not going well, what is happening. And finally, we got these fact sheets. And the thing is, however, it isn't important in the sense that things are written in text this time, and we absolutely need it. But again, it sent us a reminder once again. There are other details that still need to be worked out. And even by now we know with the Trump administration, things that have been already agreed may be turned upside down. And things may need to be continued to be negotiated. So that's why Korean officials themselves acknowledge this, and they're saying, as long as Donald Trump is in the office, that part they didn't say it, but in my interpretation, as long as Donald Trump is in the White House, there will be never-ending, ever ongoing negotiations continuing down the road. So that's kind of realistic outlook, even when we have this written document in our hand by now.
I see. Thanks for thoroughly explaining the backdrop to getting the fact sheet. And now that we have it, the fact sheet outlines plans for cooperation in things like trade, supply chains, and advanced industries. So how do these economic commitments fit into the respective countries' broader foreign policy strategy?
Well, it was clear when it was announced at the White House website, the joint statement. The United States side made it very clear that they're selling these points to the U.S. constituents. And so, in terms of their economy, their economic gains, the statement made it very clear that there will be help coming from South Korea. Yes. To help the United States rebuild and expand their critical industries. I'm quoting these words from the statement there. And the statement says, this deal includes 150 billion of Korean investment in the shipbuilding sector approved by the United States. So 150 billion going into the United States, to help their shipbuilding industry, which faces a critical challenge at this point. And they need our money. Yes. They need our skills, our know-how, everything to rebuild their shipbuilding industry. This, which is critical for their naval power. Right. We're talking about Indo-Pacific strategies of these different countries and China-U.S. confrontation in the Pacific area. And if they don't have capability to build their Navy vessels, they're in trouble. And so they need our help. And the statement specifically mentions that. In addition to that, the statement says,
yes,
this deal also includes $200 billion of additional Korean investment committed pursuant to the Memorandum of Understanding. And this is expected to be signed very soon. And so this $200 billion US dollars was a big point of contention on both sides. And the joint statement says that Korea is bringing in $200 billion, huge amount of money to the United States to help invest in the U.S. In addition to that, U.S. side, they're making these selling points to their people saying, we also are working to promote reciprocal trade, which is a big agenda for a Trump administration. Sure. And among those different points, interesting point is, so far, United States could sell up to 50,000 units of U.S. vehicles that meet U.S. environmental standard. not Korean environmental standard. They have been allowed to sell up to 50,000 U.S. cars that meets U.S. standard. They are selling these cars to Korea, but they don't care about Korean environmental standard. They are selling these as long as they work with the U.S. standard. And the cap has been 50,000.
Yes.
And that cap has been removed, the statement says. It's not the United States selling a lot of cars here in Korea at all, but, symbolically for them, it's an important point that there's no restrictions in terms of how many cars they can sell in the United States, in Korea with the U.S. environmental standard. And the statement also talked about non-tariff barriers being removed on food and agricultural imports into Korea from the United States. And there are other mentioning of, for instance, deregulation, non-discrimination, and things like that, to help U.S. companies.
Yes.
And for Korea, of course, the tariff is the key thing, right? In terms of economic gains we can expect from this agreement. And finally, Korea saw the overall tariff coming down to 15%.
That's right.
Which is equal to those that the European Union and Japan faced as well. That has been key concern, auto side. And then the semiconductor side, there is a statement saying that Korea is not going to face any tariff that makes Korea on any disadvantageous position in relation with other countries. So semiconductor side, big relief as well. So those were some of the economic gains, if you will, on each side.
So what about on peace and security in the Korean Peninsula and, of course, the broader Indo-Pacific region as well? Does this paperwork reflect anything in that region, the regional diplomacy?
Well, in terms of peace and security, the Korean Peninsula, especially for South Korea, there is a specific section, not a small one, a large section committed to the clause saying modernizing the U.S.-Korea alliance. And in that section, the United States reaffirmed its pledge, I'm reading the text from there, to provide extended deterrence, leaving the full range of its capabilities, including nuclear. So the United States is going to defend South Korea with everything possible, even including with nuclear weapons.
Yes.
And Korea commits that it's going to increase our defense spending up to 3.5% of GDP, and Korea is going to buy up to $25 billion of U.S. military equipment by 2030. And the UPCON transfer, the wartime operational control of the military, is going to be completed. With the full commitment from both sides and so on. So there is a strong commitment that has been written in terms of by the United States, trying to help South Korea defend itself. And, a lot of these points I mentioned, and you can see that Korea itself is doing a lot, to increase its capability to defend itself. So those were important points that we find in this joint statement.
Yes. And speaking of that defense industry, the factory formally approved South Korea's construction of nuclear-powered attack submarines. So from your experience, Professor, what does this actually mean? I mean, is this really significant?
This is very significant because it means there's a real significant deterrence against North Korean, attack or invasion or provocation. Because submarines, they go around deep in the sea and then they can launch, different kinds of, attacks. And it could be very powerful, conventional, missiles, whatever that can strike the part of North Korean leadership if North Korea somehow uses its nuclear weapons. Let's say North Korea uses its nuclear weapons and destroy a big part of South Korea, and South Korea loses its capability to retaliate from here. Then this submarine that has been hiding deep in the sea where nobody knows its locations could launch their critical, lethal counterattack, second strike against the invader or provocateur and North Korea, perhaps in that case, and it will deliver a critical blow. And so this is a very strong deterrence against any kind of enemy that has a capability that can deliver critical, devastating damage on our side. So North Korea or any other future entities that could threaten the safety and security of South Korea, this nuclear-powered submarine could provide a very credible deterrence, the second strike capability.
Right. And finally, in your view, Professor, what are the most important steps on both sides to ensure that the commitments in this fact sheet turn into real progress rather than just symbolic declarations?
Well, first of all, I think the declarations that came out at the White House in August and Gyeongju, at the end of October and beginning of this month, November, were kind of just words, spoken words, and this time things are more specific and detailed here in the written form. So this is a very important stepping step. And from here, as I mentioned, there are more details, further details that need to be worked out. And so there will be continuing negotiation, discussion, dialogue, and so on. But if anything, the United States has confirmed that South Korea is a tough negotiator. And South Korea is not like Japan. Japan gave us a big trouble by just giving in to Trump demands so easily and making so many major concessions. And Japan, European Union, other countries, they just went in so easily. And but South Korea made it clear while remaining one of the most firm alliance, closest ally of the United States. South Korea is a tough negotiator. And we don't give out things as easily, and we try to maximize mutual gains in this kind of dialogue and discussion. So I think we made it very clear. So based upon that mutual recognition built through this so many months of efforts, the outlook that I see is there will be continuing dialogue about further specifics, and there will be some pushing and pulling and stuff. But both sides has established the mode of discussion that will remain firmly in place, which will continue to be reasonably constructive.
Yes. Well, thank you for breaking down this joint South Korea-U.S. fact sheet for our listeners and viewers, and we appreciate your time and expertise. So thank you so much, Professor.
Thank you, as always.
All right, everybody, this was Professor Kim Byung-ju, and we talked about the joint summit, the fact sheet that has now emerged. And we have an update to this story because North Korea has just issued its first statement regarding the fact sheet. The KCNA, Korea Central News Agency, published commentary that the fact sheet confirms that South Korea and the U.S. hostilities towards Pyongyang and vowed that North Korea will take measures to protect its sovereignty and security interests. And in particular, the North classified South Korea as building a nuclear-powered submarine as basis for Seoul's nuclearization, and that it will inevitably cause a quote-unquote nuclear domino effect. So that's a statement from North Korea. Well, we're going to take a little breather right now. So here it is. This is Halo by Beyonce.
Remember those walls I built? Well, baby, they're tumbling down. And they didn't even put up a fight. They didn't even make a sound. I found a way to let you in, but I never really had a doubt. Standing in the light of your halo, I got my angel now. It's like I've been awakened. Every rule I had you breaking. It's the risk that I'm taking. I ain't never gonna shut you out. Everywhere I'm looking now, I'm surrounded by your embrace. Baby, I can see your halo. You know you're my saving grace. You're everything I need and more. It's written all over your face. Baby, I can been awakened. Every rule I had you breaking. The risk that I'm taking, I'm never gonna shut you out. Everywhere I'm looking now, I'm surrounded by your embrace. Baby, I can see your halo. You know you're my saving grace. You're everything I need and more. It's written all over your face. Baby, I can feel your halo. Pray it won't fade. Oh, your halo, halo. See your halo, halo. See your halo, halo. You see your halo, halo. Your halo, halo. See your halo, halo. Your halo, halo. You see your halo, Everywhere I'm looking now, I'm surrounded by your embrace. Baby, I can see your halo. You know you're my saving grace. You're everything I need and more. It's written all over your face. Baby, I can feel your halo. Pray it won't fade. Oh, your halo, halo. See your halo, halo. See your halo, halo. You see your halo, halo. Your halo, halo. See your halo, halo. Your halo, halo. You see your halo, halo.
All right, listeners, today it's all about the kimchi because it is kimjang season already. And the weather today is like indicative of just how cold it is and the reason why we're talking about kimchi. Well, some of your responses, some of your, I guess, go-to methods of getting that kimchi because who doesn't enjoy a little bit of kimchi? Well, aside from Go-su님, whom I already mentioned, I outed him. His family, they make like, I think he said like 300 heads of cabbage. I can't even imagine because this weekend I think we're doing like 40. And even that to me is a very daunting task. But 300, I don't know. We have 최희숙님 on the board. And she said, I made some 겉절이 yesterday. It's not the authentic kimjang kimchi, but not bad. So look at the photo she sent us. It's like so mouth-watering. All I need is a bowl of piping hot, freshly made rice. Oh, sorry. Sound effect, sorry. And then, like 힘이 막 흘러오는 금방 지은 밥이랑 이 겉절이만 있어도 isn't that enough? That would be plenty for a nice winter lunch. How about that? So that sounds really nice. So thank you for taking the time to send us our photo, a photo of your kimchi. And a lot of people are saying that they are lucky enough that they get their, like, an 얻어먹는 분이 꽤 있네요. And I'm jealous of all you folks out there that don't have to make your kimchi, but have your moms or mother-in-laws or just family members or friends that kind of gift you the kimchi. And I certainly hope that, when you gift back, you give them something nice in return as well. Let's get to Bonnie. I'll be back with her in just a moment. It is now time for Simply Sustainable. We have Bonnie here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, I love the beret.
Oh, yes.
So pretty.
I'm dressed on theme for our topic today, which we'll see.
Okay. I want to get your kimchi takes. Like, do you buy it? Are you, I don't want to say loaned. Are you gifted kimchi?
I am gifted kimchi. And every time my mom comes to visit, I make her, before she leaves, that's like her ticket to be able to come stay with me is that she has to make me kimchi. So I have two, she just came to visit. So I have two huge tubs right now in my fridge waiting to be eaten.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Yeah, that's like her toll into Korea.
I can't imagine Bonnie as like a slave driver. Like, Mom, make me, please,
Oh,
the kimchi.
actually, no, I want to help her and she
Uh-huh.
doesn't let me. I want to help. I'm all the families out there going to kimjang this week.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. I want to do that.
Oh.
My cousin has to do it with her family and I'm always like, oh, lucky. She's always telling me, no, you don't want to do it. But, I didn't have I haven't never done a huge kimjang before. So I think it looks fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
Kind of. Okay. Let's jump into our topic for today. What do you have for us?
So our topic today, because it's the holiday season, which is also the buying season.
It is.
And particularly right now at the end of November, we are approaching all the Black Friday deals. So today we're going to talk about how to avoid this Black Friday black hole that has consumed us because now, right, it's the biggest consumption day of the year, right? And so I'm here to remind you, most of these things, you probably don't need it. But I know it's very tempting.
Right.
There's a lot of deals out there and a lot of brands that come out with these new like limited edition holiday merchandise.
Right.
And I've been seeing lately the new trend is a certain coffee company has released this bear cup. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a reusable gear, which is funny because a lot of these items that come out are like reusable items, which are great, right? Not single-use items, but they still cause this consumer frenzy.
Yes.
And this particular cup is a part of like a holiday launch of merchandise.
Yes.
But it's particularly, people have gone crazy over this bear and they've been lining up overnight for this. They have been getting in fights over them in store. There have been some brawls going on. And it's sparked a lot of people buying it and reselling it for way above market value. So we do see this with limited edition items here and there. But, I really want to ask the people out there, do you really need or want this item? Like even, is the want because everybody else wants it? Or do you really like it? Is it really cute to you?
Do you really need it? Another one?
Most of the time, nobody really needs it.
Another cup?
Yeah, right. But do you really want it so badly because of what it is? Like the whole trend.
Or is it just like a trendy thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like that doll that everybody is
Boo-boo?
getting. Yes. I have a couple students that keep getting this doll.
Yeah.
So I pose this question to them. Do you want this doll because it's real? Like, why do you want it?
It's not
and
cute.
their response is because it's cute.
No, it's not.
That's their response. So, you can't argue, to each their own, your own opinion if you think
Okay.
it's cute. But I said, okay, so if this doll was on a shelf, let's say it's on a shelf with all these other items and it wasn't popular.
Right.
Nobody else was getting it. If you were going down the aisle, would you have picked this doll because it's cute?
Good question.
And they're like, So then I would say, are you buying it just because it's popular and trendy, or are you really buying it because you really think that it's a cute item?
Good question.
Personally, I would say no, because I don't think they're that cute. But, it's a personal choice. I think they're kind of scary and creepy. But like I said, that's a personal choice.
Right.
But that, when people start to think, do I really want this because I personally think it's cute. It's my style. It goes with what else I have. Or am I just getting it because it's just popular and everybody else is getting it? And a little bit, I had one student that said, well, then I can show it off, because it's kind of like a coolness factor thing. Like, because I have this thing, I get to show it off and tell people, look what I got. I got the new whatever came out.
I get it.
Yeah, so these are the questions that we should be asking ourselves, especially now before this big Black Friday deals come out.
And hence you're dressed in all black.
Yes, it's like the morning of
the anti-Black Friday.
Yes. Trying to warn people out there because, most of the time, back in the day, Black Friday used to be a one-day thing. In the States, it was the day after Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
Everybody would go out, go to the mall, because that was where you did your shopping usually, and everybody had these sales. So it used to be just one day.
Right.
Now I'm seeing month-long deals. I think right after Halloween, I saw a lot of signs go up, Black Friday deals all month long.
Right.
So let me get to the facts here.
Okay, here we go.
80% of your Black Friday deals will end up in the landfill very quickly, which is meaning that a lot of the purchases that we are buying during Black Friday are not really items that we need. They're just kind of items that we buy because they're cheap or they were on sale. So most of them actually end up in the trash very quickly.
Okay.
Because they're not necessary items, right? They're just items that have tempted us because they're on such discount. And we get kind of lured in with all the Black Friday jargon of saying, one time only.
Yes.
It's never going to be as cheap as this. This is the one time that you can get it.
Right.
So we have this like scarcity belief that, if I don't get it right now, I'm never going to be able to get it at this price.
They're good at marketing.
Yes.
Yes.
And of course, I have fallen victim to it too. Everybody, if you're going to buy it anyways, a lot of people think, I should get it now, right? Which that makes sense. But a lot of times we buy things that we didn't need, that we weren't planning on purchasing because of these, said really one-time deal only times.
Right.
So this is, and for you guys, I don't know if you know this measurement, but the statistic is an extra 1.5 million tons of waste is created from Black Friday deals in the UK alone. So 1 ton equals 1,000 kilograms.
Right.
So 1,000 kilograms times 1.5 million. And that's how much waste is going into the landfill because of these Black Friday purchases.
Wow.
So when you think about that, it's a lot of extra buying.
I have to say, okay, so I went on a little mini girls trip over the weekend to Seoul, and it was Black Friday this and Black Friday that.
Yes.
And I have to say, because of the crowds and the fervor, it was really tempting.
Yes,
it
right?
really was. And I'll be honest, I wasn't thinking of Bonnie. However, I feel a little proud of myself because it was really tempting.
Yes.
There were throngs of people. There were lines everywhere. And then everything was already in Christmassy decorations. And it was just a vibe, right?
Yeah.
And then at first, 눈이 번쩍 here and there. And I want this and I want that. And then, but I kept on telling myself, I told you the rule, I keep it in my cart, online. So I kept on asking myself. I asked myself 5 times each time, do I really need that?
Oh, you created a mental cart.
Right. No, it's literally. And I was like, do I need that? Am I going to wear that next year?
Yes.
2 years from now?
Yes.
3 years from now? So I kept on asking myself over and over. And I have to say, of all the 36 hours of perusing.
Really?
I bought one thing.
Wow.
And I was like, this I can wear for years.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
It was so hard though.
How did your friends do?
Well, my daughters.
How did they do?
They wanted to buy up all the cosmetics and everything.
Yes,
and I kept on saying I kept on putting my hand on their hand 꼭 필요한 거, what you really need.
Yeah.
And so they were a little bit disappointed. But,
well, no, that's why I'm bringing this up because it's so tempting. And I don't know if it's just me, but this year in particular, I just feel there's more deals and it's way early. I mean, I'm talking right after Halloween.
Exactly.
I saw so many promos go on.
Right.
Especially here, of course, we're in the land of cosmetics and makeup and
Yeah, K-beauty.
Yes, K-beauty things. So there's a lot of that and it is exciting because also it's the time of giving. You're probably purchasing gifts as well. Hopefully not just for yourself, but for other people. So that's always a great thing also. But with any purchase comes a cost.
Yes.
Cost to the planet, cost to our environment.
That's right.
So it's just the time to think a little bit more before our purchases.
Yes.
So just like you said, do you really need it? And like I'm saying, is it a trend? Is it something that will come and go? And maybe in a year...
Not trendy, yes.
Yeah, you won't really want it or you won't really need it. Or it won't be popular anymore.
Right.
So is it really worth all the hype of going out there? And that extra price tag too, because usually limited edition holiday stuff has a little bit more on the price tag as well. So, let's think about those things first. But I'm here also to tell you, give you some tips on how to avoid these Black Friday temptations because I know it's out there.
Here, this is us listening.
Yes.
We need to listen.
So first, can you find this product pre-owned, vintage store, thrift store, and not even pre-owned, but on the resale sites.
Yes.
Because a lot of times people don't want something that has been already used. But a lot of resale sites, they will have products that are new that people just don't want anymore, or they made a wrong purchase.
That's
so
right.
trying to find it on a resale site, still new.
Yes.
You can do that.
Okay.
They're out there. And then like we were talking about, ask yourself these questions.
Right.
Do you already have something that kind of serves the same purpose? Will you want this in 5 years? Think down the line. Future
5
you,
years.
will you still use this? Will you still want this in 5 years?
Okay.
And then make a list before you go shopping. Make a list right now of all the things that you really need, that you really, really want or really, really need. Try to stick to those items.
Make a list. That
Yes,
works.
because we usually get tempted with all these things that we don't need because they're on sale.
Yes,
right?
yes.
It's the impulse buy. And then if you do need to buy something new, try to make it from a brand that aligns with sustainability goals, sustainable values, trying to use sustainable materials, and is small business owned. Instead of buying something from a big corporate company, try to find it from a small business owner. And that's going to be your gift to them.
I like how you went over ways we can avoid the temptation,
Yes.
because I feel like we're all human beings.
Yes.
And to a certain degree, we can really change, and we can. I feel so proud of myself now. At least, for that little bit, like, I resist it all. There's so many temptations.
And I promise you, whatever you want, there is some brand out there that is doing it in a more sustainable way. So just do a quick search and find them, and it'll make you feel a lot better and make our earth a lot happier.
All right. Well, thank you for giving us ways to avoid Black Friday, Blackhole. So we'll check in with you next week. Thank you so
have
much.
a good day.
Everybody, this was Bonnie, and it's time to wrap up. And I just want to say to all of you, bundle up once again, hopefully with a coat that is not newly bought from Black Friday. But if it was, it's okay. No judging here. Final song for today is a song request from Benny, Kimchi by 놀아줘. So have a good day. Enjoy. Bye, everybody.
김치 너무너무 김치가 좋아 아삭아삭 김치가 좋아 김치 짜짜 많이 짜짜 그래도 난 김치가 좋아 새콤달콤 김치가 좋아 김치 짜짜 많이 짜짜 시골에서 담궈온 깊은 손맛 우리 할머니 손길에 내고 맨맛 겉절인 상큼했어 신김치는 아싸랬어 라면을 끓일 때는 역시 너야 찌개 팔팔 끓일 때도 역시 너야 너 없이 난 못 살겠어 없이 난 허전했어 너무너무 김치가 좋아 아삭아삭 김치가 좋아 김치 짜짜 많이 짜짜 그래도 난 김치가 좋아 새콤달콤 김치가 좋아 김치 짜짜 많이 짜짜 물 좀 줘 김치만 있으면 요리 박사 물만 넣고 끓여도 딱하니 좋아 씹어먹고 구워봐도 안 튀고 삶고 데쳐봐도 뭘 해도 어울리는 네가 좋아